It is 90.3 KEXP. We're streaming all over planet Earth at KEXP.org. And what an amazing Friday this has been. I am in the KEXP live room with the legendary band Oblivians. And they are here. They are plugged in and ready to go. So we're going to hear a couple songs from them. And then we'll chat with them a little bit and then a couple more. So Oblivians, if you are ready, take it away.
This next one's called Fire Detector.
It is Oblivians live here on KEXP 90.3. Absolutely awesome. That song, Fire Detector, from the new album, Desperation, and the song before that, Loving Cup, from the new album as well, out on In the Red Records. How are you guys doing today?
All right.
Awesome.
They let us back in the country.
I was going to say, you had a little problem at the border. What the hell is going on
Well, the guy wanted to talk about April wine.
And why?
We just didn't have enough ammunition for that conversation.
That's right. He had to school us a little bit, and it took a minute.
Well, if we could introduce the band, please, that would be awesome for our listeners.
I'm Greg Cartwright, and I sing and play guitar. And that's Eric over there.
That's me.
Mm-hmm.
And on the drums back there right now, we rotate, but on the drums back there is Jack Yarber.
He plays guitar and sings
Mostly
and plays
drums.
Lately, a lot of drums.
Right, and you guys have a brand new record out. How long has it been since the last record?
110 years.
110 rotations of the sun.
Like 15 years, something like that.
15 years. And when did this start to come together and materialize?
About a year ago. But we had been playing reunion shows off and on. You know, people would ask us to play a festival or something, and we did a tour with our friends the Gories. And not long after that, we pretty much mastered the old material. Like, we could play all those songs.
Finally.
Yeah, so then it was time to try to learn new songs. So, you know, we figured if we're going to keep doing this, the only way to keep entertained and to keep our amateur status is to have fresh material to mess up. So,
And since it's been so long, does it feel almost kind of new again? Is it?
Sort of, in
Yeah.
a way. It's the same thing, and it's new. I mean, messing up new songs is a whole new way to go.
Right. That's, yeah. Well, your debut album was Soul Food in 1995.
Right.
And an album that is considered a modern classic. 95. It's hard for me to believe that was as long ago as it was.
yeah, in 95, it was considered a classic cutout.
Not even cut out. Just throw out.
It was a classic throwout. But you
Shout
guys
out.
have been, so there was a bit of a hiatus, but you guys were definitely still very busy.
Yeah, Greg's got the Raining Sound going, and Jack's got his Tear Jerkers, and I'm running the Garner record store and label and stuff like that. So we're all involved in other things and running around doing cool stuff.
Yeah. A
Will
couple
help.
of years ago, actually, it was funny. I was going through, on the iPhone, you can make in the little notes section, it looks like a yellow notepad, and you can write reminders to yourself. And I had this one from a couple years ago, and I have this long list of things that I should check more frequently, and it just said, listen to the raining sound. That was my note.
It's a good note.
I can't remember why or when. I must have been at a bar or something, but that's what I typed in my phone. That's a fantastic project, though.
Oh, thank you very much.
I
man.
love that. And Goner Records, thank you for releasing some amazing stuff, especially the work with Jay Reatard and all of his other bands that he's been involved
We have a good
in.
time with it, yeah.
Yeah, and that the documentary that came out about him, too, was really heartwarming. I thought was very, very cool. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, sort of. But,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we miss Jay. I'm wearing his strap. Think about him all the time.
Very cool. Oblivians here live on KEXP. We would love to hear a couple more songs, please.
All right, this is another song off the new record, and it's called M.
So underhanded, sometimes I can understand it. Days are dark, but the sun's gonna shine again. When I think about you, L. You got a lot of friends. If you need a helping hand, you just reach out for one of them. Can be so underhanded. Sometimes I can understand it. Days are dark, but the sun's gonna shine again. When I think about you, I can be so underhanded. Sometimes I can understand it. Days are dark, but the sun's gonna shine again. I said the day is dark, but the sun is gonna shine again.
All right, here's there was 3 new songs. We'll give you one old one. This one's off. I think this was on Popular Favorites, and it's called "You Better Behave."
Treat me right. I don't wanna see you in another man's arms. I just wanna love behave. I said you better behave. You know I need your loving, your affection too. Why don't you tell me, baby mama, you're gonna love me my whole life through? Why don't you come out and treat me right? I don't wanna see you in another man's arms. I just wanna love you good without my charm. You better stop. Well, you better behave. I said you better behave. Well, you better behave. I said you better behave.
Yeah,
Broke
Oblivians.
broke a string in there, but
you didn't even need it. That
yeah,
was amazing.
didn't need that one.
Need strings.
It still sounded absolutely fantastic. Oblivions live here on 90.3 KEXP. Super loud. Wow, my head's going to be ringing, and it sounded absolutely fantastic and even broke a string in the process. You guys, thank you so much for stopping by KEXP and playing for all of us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to tell the listeners before we go?
Yeah, we're playing in here in town tonight, so please come and see us. That's about it.
New
Don't-
record.
Don't
Desperation.
text and drive.
Don't text and drive. Where are Oblivions playing tonight?
Numos.
Numos.
Numos, yeah.
Numos.
Numos tonight. Come out and watch them. Highly recommended. So come out and party with Oblivions. You're listening to 90.3 KEXP Seattle.